It's been a while since we've seen an honest-to-goodness turntable video game here in the US. Konami experimented a bit with Beatmania, but it's been a pretty dry decade. That's part of what makes Activision's DJ Hero so exciting. It's a new peripheral with a new take on how rhythm games are played. It's also exciting because it represents genres of music that aren't getting much attention from the power duo of Rock Band and Guitar Hero, like various forms of electronic dance music and hip-hop. With a cool set list that's implemented in a unique way and a peripheral that backs up the on-screen action pretty well, DJ Hero is a solid start to what will probably make for a fruitful franchise. Sorry to open up by looking ahead to sequels that haven't been announced yet, but the big thing you'll probably notice about DJ Hero is that it's a first-generation product. Remember how the original Guitar Hero didn't really let you do too much more other than play the songs and look at your score? That's most of what DJ Hero has to offer. You're presented with different mixes, each with anywhere from 2 to 8 songs in it, and you'll play the tracks one after the next until you've completed that tier of songs. You earn stars for your performance, which opens up more set lists and additional window dressing, like playable characters, new stages, more outfits, and so on. Some of the characters are real-life DJs like Z-Trip, Grandmaster Flash, and Daft Punk. That sounds straightforward, but there is a bit more to it. You can also play against another player either locally or over the internet. You can also play 10 of the game's tracks with a local player wielding a Guitar Hero guitar controller. This seems like it was added as a bit of an afterthought. Sure, these custom mixes aren't found in a non-guitar format, but the guitar parts can be repetitive in some cases and get lost in the cacophony of DJ whistles and scratching in others. The game is played with one of these, a custom-built turntable controller that has a crossfader, an effects dial, and a button to activate Euphoria, which is the game's equivalent of Guitar Hero's Star Power, and a turntable with 3 buttons on it. Your primary activity is pressing these buttons and holding them while you scratch the record back and forth in time with the on-screen indicators. The game will also tell you when to flip the crossfader back and forth, which cuts between the 2 records. For the most part, the controller is fine, but scratching while holding down the buttons feels a bit weird. It's like the turntable platter is a bit too heavy, so it gets moving with a bit of momentum when you're scratching. This leads to imprecision, which is never great in these games. Also, you'll probably need to spend some serious time with the controller to get used to hitting it without looking down at it all the time. Additionally, the crossfader can be a little tricky. It's easy to slide it a bit too far when you're trying to center it. So as you might have guessed, this game isn't as easy to pick up and play as Guitar Hero was back in its day, since the activity of DJing is a bit more abstract. But the game opens with a great tutorial that helps make everything clear. That said, you'll need to get some practice to actually get good at the game. I can't stress that enough. It didn't take much time for me to start getting 5 stars on every song I encountered on Medium, but the 2 harder difficulties make meaningful changes to the way the game is played, making it both more difficult and more rewarding. While playing on Medium, I felt like I was growing into the harder difficulties as I played. There's a really sharp soundtrack in DJ Hero that covers a lot of different genres. Each track is built from 2 or more different songs, and they're mashed together to form something new and kind of crazy. Sometimes it works out perfectly, like when Daft Punk and Queen are dropped into one track. Other times it feels a little hokey, like when DJ Z-Trip and Murs reworked Foreigner's Jukebox Hero into a song about turntables called, you know, DJ Hero. Visually, DJ Hero does the same thing that all games like this do. You'll be too busy focusing on the highway to see what buttons you need to hit in order to notice the variety of backgrounds and characters. One thing you'll definitely notice, though, are the constantly flashing lights in some areas. At times, I felt like the game should stop and throw up one of those epilepsy warnings. Last night, I seriously thought about sliding a wallet under my tongue, like just in case. It actually looks really cool if you take time to sit down and look at it. The game, not my wallet. It's a bit bare bones, and the turntable controller feels like it could have been better in a couple of spots. But as the start to something new, DJ Hero provides a very strong foundation that things like additional downloadable content or full-fledged sequels could really build on. If you've been fiending for a rhythm game that represents a different style of music, or you just like cutting and scratching, DJ Hero's a lot of fun.